So here is the can lighting solution we picked up. It's just these boxes right here. And they've changed these lights up significantly since I bought my first ones. They're a little bit cheaper. I'm not as thrilled with them as I was the first time, but it's super, super simple. You get two pieces in this kit. You get the light, right? And you get this box. I'll show you how you work the box. All you do is flip that open, and it comes with your wire nuts, and now it only comes with a black and a white wire. It used to have a green wire for a ground. So right now I'm wiring these up without the ground completely put in, but you just do your little pop out, wire them up with the wire nuts, pop everything back in, and then you simply connect and screw these together. So I cut out of a piece of cardboard a little template that is just slightly bigger than this ring right here. I just measured it with a tape measure all the way across on the inside. So I got an inside measurement here, and then I got an outside measurement here, and tried to come as close to the inside measurement as I could. Just use a little piece of string and a pencil and just cut out a nice little circle. And so that's my template I use when I cut out the hole in the drywall. And you see that these are super easy. You just hold the springs back, push it up in there, and it automatically just sucks it in nice and tight. It's got this little kind of rubber foam gasket there that kind of seals in any airflow and kind of keeps it a little bit watertight. It's a great little solution. $100 for like 12 lights, can lights, and they're supposed to last for quite an extended period of time. I think we've had the first set of lights for about 8 to 12 months now, and so far so good. Haven't had any complaints. All right, next task is to correct this sin and try to put in some recessed lighting. We want to make sure we've got can lights all the way in here. We're going to start with just one for today. We want to show you what we're going to do. So we've got our ladder, and we've got a drop cloth out here. And here are some of our tools. So we've got a template right here. We've got a hammer in case we have to cut the junction box, a drywall saw, a couple different types of screwdrivers depending on what we need, and some wire strippers. And finally, this is the black box that goes to the light itself. And that should be everything we need. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start nice and easy by taking off all these wire nuts. And we already disconnected the power by the circuit breaker. So we know we're not gonna get shocked. And that's it. That's done. Take these off. Andrew, will you take these? By the way, I mentioned all the things that we have to have, but as far as tools, but I forgot the two main important tools.
Little boys.
The little helpers, huh? Okay. So this junction box is probably nailed to a joist. At least that's the way it looks by all accounts. What we're going to do next is break the junction box. So we just kind of get aggressive with it until it does what we want. So we see this problem every now and then where we've got to take all of these wires and try to fit them in this junction box, since we just broke up the junction box that was here. And unfortunately this box is only big enough to fit these wires, not all of these wires. And anytime these wires are terminated like this, they should be in a junction box. So, we'll have to go to the hardware store and get a junction box. So what we're gonna do next is cut our hole. And since I've got the hole kind of exposed, I can see that there's a joist right here to my left. So I can't extend the hole any further than that. So I've got to kind of start the circle as far to the left as possible. And that's going to be like my outer edge. And I'll just trace that with my pencil. So now we're just going to dry fit this and see if the hole is going to work. I think it works. So now what we'll do is we'll get the junction box for the other wires, and then we'll wire in this little junction box and we'll be good to go. So we went out and got a sealable junction box. We're going to put all these back in. Those will be what we connect to the other junction box. Andrew, hand me the lid, please. What kind of screw am I going to need? So that way we're up to code. And we've left no terminated and joined wires exposed in the ceiling.
No more fire hazards.
So we'll put that back up here. And then we'll work with these two wires to get them connected to these two wires.
Black goes to red, white goes to white.
In this particular case, black to black, black to red. And these wire nuts were included in the kit. And we'll, oh, I got too excited.
You forgot to do something?
Yeah, I forgot to run them through that hole. Now, the junction box is set up right. I think the hardest part about doing this is how tired my arms get from being
Up.
over my head.
Yeah, I felt that way when I was screwing in the vent.
The smart thing. Okay. Alright, so that piece can also go on top. Hand me the light. And you may now go turn on the breaker. I know that Andrew has a 2-minute walk to go turn on the breaker, so I've got a few seconds. There's light! Okay. Final test. Get it up in the hole. Make sure the gasket's sitting there nice and pretty. We're done. You can see I don't have the big dome light hanging off the ceiling anymore. It produces a fair amount of light. The difference with these really is that they push the light straight down. And so this room really needs to have probably 4 more. So we're thinking 1 in each of the corners. All right, quick video of what it looks like all finished. Man, isn't this awesome? Love how the lights look. The room itself is so much brighter. It's better than I could have hoped for. It just turned out so great. These lights went in super easy. The hardest part was getting these run over here. So we had to run all the wire out of this one. We used the air vent and these 2 holes to drill through the joists and run the 2 wires. And then we ran the wires back over to this side to get these 2. So it wasn't terribly hard. And the best part, no drywall work. No new patches or texturing or painting. It's done. Here is room number 2. 1 light there. And then the 4 lights here. This one was really hard because it's not centered in between all 4 of these. And because there's a junction box here, we had to put a little cover here. And so I'm probably gonna end up putting like a smoke detector or something there because you can't cover that up. So if you have ideas on how I should cover that up, please leave me a comment in the description box. But other than that, here is what Ryan's room looks like. It is fantastic.